Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today it is Tuesday and September 1st, 2020, and we are going to start our topic about production possibility curve. It shows what the possibilities of production of the two goods when all the resources are fully employed at given state of technology and at ceteris paribus. Ceteris paribus means we set when all other factors are kept constant. And we know that the resources of an economy, they are limited or finite, but they have alternate uses as well. Like piece of land is going to have different alternate uses, and labor is also having different alternate uses, and capital is also having different alternate uses. So they could be used in order to produce different types of goods. For simplicity, to draw the PPC, we are having in our assumption that it is only employing the two types of goods to be produced by employing all the factors of production in the economy. Like it is going to show us the two types of goods which are produced. One is called the consumer goods, another is called capital goods. Capital goods are those which are used by the producers in order to produce the output. They are the capital items or producer goods. Consumer goods are those which will satisfy the human wants. All right. So when all the resources are employed to produce consumer goods, it will have an opportunity cost of the sacrifice of all the capital goods. If all the resources are employed in order to produce only the consumer goods, so what will be the opportunity cost of this production? That all the capital goods are sacrificed. And when all the resources are employed to produce capital goods, then consumer goods will be the opportunity cost. Therefore, PPC also represents the opportunity cost of the different types of goods which are produced. Like resources are finite, but they are having alternate uses. So due to these alternate uses, we have to sacrifice or give up one good in order to produce another, because resources are limited. They can be transferred, they can be transformed, or they can be allocated from one sector to another. All right. Now take an example like consumer goods are here. I am going to have a table first of all to draw a PPC. Consumer goods are there. At the same time, I am going to have the capital goods on the other column. When all the resources are employed, what happens? It is going to produce 20,000 of consumer goods. And none of capital good is produced. That all the resources, whatever the labor, land and capital are available, they are employed in the production of only the consumer goods. And what is the opportunity cost of producing all the 20,000 of consumer goods? That we have sacrificed all the capital goods in this case. So what happens if we take away some of the resources from the production of consumer goods, we give up some of the production of consumer goods, then those resources which are made free from consumer goods, they can be employed to the production of capital goods. So as a result, what happens? If we give up 4,000 of consumer goods, an economy will be able to produce 2,000 of capital goods. So what do we mean? By giving up 4,000 of consumer goods, an economy is able to produce 2,000 of capital goods. In other words, when two consumer goods are given up, one capital good is produced. So this has an opportunity cost. Two consumer goods are given up for the sake of an additional unit of capital goods. So here I can take the opportunity cost. Here the opportunity cost is all the capital goods produced. And here opportunity cost is 4,000 of consumer goods are given up to produce 2,000 of capital goods. Or two consumer goods are given up for the sake of an additional capital goods produced. The resources which were producing 4,000 consumer goods, now they are only able to produce 2,000 of capital goods. They are less efficient in the production of capital goods rather than consumer goods. So if we say the C option is here, again we are able to sacrifice 4,000 of consumer goods to have an extra 2,000 of capital goods. So this is another option which is available to the economy. Now as we are giving up 4,000 of consumer goods, we are able to get extra 2,000 of capital goods every time. In our this specific example, so here I am taking 8,000 and here I am taking 6,000. And then it is 4,000 and then it is 8,000. So the point F is that all the capital consumer goods are given up in order to produce all the capital items. So these two are the extreme cases when we have all the sacrifice of one of the good. In option A, we had sacrificed all the capital goods to produce only the consumer goods, whereas in option D, we are sacrificing all consumer goods to produce 10,000 of capital goods. In between them, we see every time economy has to give up 4,000 of consumer goods to produce what? Extra 2,000 of capital goods. So it is having a constant opportunity cost. What do we mean? Every time economy has to give up 4,000 of consumer goods, or 2 of consumer goods are given up to produce 1 extra unit of capital goods. So here it is called constant opportunity cost curve. Here I am taking the capital goods and here I am taking the consumer goods. When all the resources are employed to the production of consumer goods, this is the point A, where economy has produced only the consumer goods. And when all the resources are employed to produce capital goods, this is point F, where only capital goods are produced. If we join these 2 points, we get this constant line, constant slope. It is downward sloping. What do we mean? All these points, all these bundles, they are lying along this line. This shows us production possibility curve. It shows the possibilities of production of the 2 goods, in our case, the consumer goods and capital goods, when all the resources of an economy are fully employed. Like if all resources are allocated to produce consumer goods, 20,000 of consumer goods are produced. When all resources are employed to produce capital goods, that is the 10,000 of capital goods are produced. So we say this is constant sloped. What is the slope? This is the slope of this PPC, that change in consumer goods due to change in capital goods. Capital goods are now denoted by K. So what do we mean by change in consumer goods due to change in capital goods? That is negatively sloped. Negative slope means when we increase the production of capital goods, we are decreasing the production of consumer goods. One thing is increased, another is decreased. That's why it is negatively related. I'm putting a negative sign with it. So change in consumer goods is what? That is 4,000 of consumer goods are given up to produce extra 2,000 of capital goods. All right. So if we take it, it is called -2. What do we mean by this -2? It shows in order to produce an extra unit of capital goods, 2 units of consumer goods will be given up. This is an opportunity cost. This is called marginal opportunity cost. For a marginal means extra. For an extra unit of capital goods has to be produced, how many units of consumer goods will be given up in this case? That is -2. Every time to have an extra unit of capital goods, we have to give up 2 units of consumer goods. So this is constant. Every time you can see there is a constant slope. Every time we have to give up this part of consumer goods to get only 1 unit of capital goods. If you invert it, like change in capital due to change in consumer goods, this will be minus 1/2. To have an extra unit of consumer goods, half of capital good will be given up. So other way around, it is also true. If we move from right to left, so then we say half of the capital goods will be given up in order to get an extra unit of consumer goods. Or if we move from left to right, we say 2 units of consumer goods will be given up in order to get an extra unit of capital goods. So all the points which are lying along this PPC, they are showing us the full employment of resources, and any point which is lying below this PPC, this is point X. It shows that resources are not fully employed. Some of the resources are left unemployed. More could be produced if these resources have been employed by the economy. And any point which is lying above this PPC, that shows it is unattainable. Point X is attainable along with unemployed resources. And all the points which are lying along PPC, they are showing us attainable points, but resources are fully employed. They involve opportunity cost. But in this case, when we talk about any point below PPC, it has zero opportunity cost as well. Like more of either of the good can be produced without sacrificing the other good. All right. So any point which is lying above PPC, that is unattainable within given resources of any economy. We cannot achieve this point Z until unless the resources of an economy are increased in case of its potential, in case of its quantity of resources, or the quality of resources, they have been increased, then this point could be attained. Okay. So this shows us the possibilities of production of the two goods when all the resources of an economy are fully employed at given state of technology and at ceteris paribus. Ceteris paribus means when other factors are kept constant. So this is constant opportunity cost curve. It also represents the basic economic problem that we cannot go beyond this PPC as resources are finite. Even the consumers are willing to buy the quantity which is represented by point Z. But within given resources, they are unable to achieve this point. Because resources are finite, we cannot achieve it. Now come towards another PPC, which shows us a normal PPC, which is given to us, that is increasing opportunity cost. Increasing opportunity cost means what? Now suppose consumer goods are 700 and 0 of capital goods are produced in option A. So if we say consumer goods are decreased by 40 units, how many units are given up? 40 in order to produce 100 units of capital goods. So in the first case, the opportunity cost of first 100 units of capital goods are 40 units of consumer goods which are given. In option C, what happens? We have 600, like we have given up 60 units of consumer goods to get an extra unit of 100 capital goods. So now you see, opportunity cost of the first 100 units of capital goods was 40 units. Now for the extra 100 units of capital goods, opportunity cost has increased to 60. So it is increasing opportunity cost. If we say the option D is there, we have this thing. 100 units of consumer goods are given up in order to produce an extra 100 units of capital goods. So you can see over here, for first 100 opportunity cost was 40, for second 100 now the opportunity cost is 60, for the extra 100 units of capital goods the opportunity cost is further increased. Now option E is there. We have this thing 300 Now opportunity cost is 200 in order to have an extra 100 units of capital goods. Look at this in between column, opportunity cost is increasing. So if we say over here it is 0, now 300 units are given up for extra units of 100 capital goods. So this is increasing opportunity cost. If we are going to draw this opportunity cost curve or production possibility curve, we can have a different shape, which is bowed outward. Now here I am taking the capital goods represented by K. This is 0. This is consumer goods. If I say this is point A, where 700 of consumer goods are produced and maximum of 500 of capital goods are there. If we join these points by this line, this curve, you can see this is bowed outward. It is not a straight line. Previous curve was a straight line. Now we see it is flatter at the start, then it is becoming steeper. Why it is becoming steeper? As the opportunity cost is increasing, its slope is becoming steeper and steeper, although it is negatively slow. Can I say change in consumer goods due to change in capital goods? So it is changing on every point. First it was having for minus sign, first 100, we have given up 40 units. So how many units of consumer goods are given up? 2 by 5. For extra unit of capital item, 2 by 5, or we can say minus 0.4, that is given up of consumer goods to get an extra unit of capital item. For the next 100, the change in consumer over change in capital for the extra 100, now we have given up 60. So you can see over here, this is minus 0.6. Now opportunity cost of extra capital item in this case that has increased to 0.6. For even extra units of 100, now it is again minus 100 over 100. Now there is 1-to-1 ratio. For 1 unit of consumer goods to give up, we are able to get an extra unit of capital good. So again it will be 2 and then it is 3. So you can see here we can say when we get first 100, we are sacrificing this. When we move to the extra 100, our vertical distance is increasing. And if we move on this curve, our vertical distance is further increasing. This shows us that this curve is an increasing opportunity cost curve. It is also PPC, but it is increasing opportunity cost curve. It also shows the same thing, that all the resources are fully employed to produce along this PPC. All the points are lying along PPC are showing us the full employment of resources, and any point below PPC that shows us unemployment of resources, and any point beyond PPC will tell us unattainable point. It cannot be attained within given resources. So we say a normal PPC is showing us increasing opportunity cost. Why it is increasing? The reason is the resources, when they are transferred, they are transformed from consumer goods to the production of capital goods. They are not that much productive as they were in the consumer goods. So their transformation is becoming difficult. It is same case like if I am teaching you economics and if I am asked to teach you business studies, so I will not be that much efficient as I am in the teaching of economics. So productivity of factors of production will be decreasing as we are transferring the resources from one sector to another. That's why the opportunity cost is also increasing, or we say there are going to be diminishing returns of the extra units produced for another good when we are giving up the first product which was produced over here. So this is increasing opportunity cost curve. So movement along the curve shows us the presence of opportunity cost, because resources are finite and they have alternate uses. They could be allocated in the production of either consumer goods or the capital goods. They have the alternate uses. But the thing is that when they are transferred from one sector to another, this involves opportunity cost. I said any point below PPC shows zero opportunity cost. It is because if we move towards this side, more of capital goods will be produced without sacrificing consumer goods. That's why it is showing us zero opportunity cost. Or if we move vertically, more of consumer goods could be produced without sacrificing the capital goods. So unemployed resources are employed in order to increase the production of either capital goods or consumer goods. This point, which is lying below PPC, shows us economic inefficiency. Resources are being wasted. When resources are not fully employed, they are being wasted. They are economically inefficient. And all the points which are lying along PPC, they are showing us economic efficiency as well, that resources are fully employed, nothing is wasted. Okay, these are the different types or different points which are shown by using the PPC. So when economy moves from point X towards PPC, it shows us the actual growth, like our economy will be growing by utilizing its existing resources rather to have more potential. So this shows us the actual economic growth if economy moves from point X towards PPC, like existing resources, they are employed in order to produce more of either good or both of them. So this shows us actual economic growth. So I think I will be doing the shifts of PPC in our next lesson because it's about to finish. We are having a limitation of online time duration in our online classes. So we cannot go beyond this point. Our limitations are here. And when we will be having the next class, we'll be doing the shifts of PPC and then the rest of the applications which will be involved in PPC. So all that will be finished in our next class. So this is the increasing opportunity cost. Another PPC can be there, which is decreasing opportunity cost. We'll be analyzing them in our next class. Okay, thank you for today. And if you have any question, you can raise in our